To the kingdom. My name is Connor, the specialist Handy Banjo. Today we'll be discussing a long-awaited video of signing up as a gig worker / helper. This will be a quick video, so let's get started. So right now we're on the sign up page for Handy Banjo's website. We're going to type in an email, and we're going to do a password, and then we're going to choose our industry, which in this case will be an independent worker. And we're going to select on a robot. Right, we're going to log in again. Now we're going to sign up once more. Just like before, from every other one, you have to get your email verified. I'll do that real quick just to show you if it shows up. I will put previous footage if it didn't show up. Alright, we're going to cut that out if it did or not. So now you see this page again. So as a helper, the difference is, as a helper for Handy Banjo, is that from a pro, you would do your industry. I'll get to that point. First type in our personal stuff. And on the second page, you do a profile photo, a display name, short description of how your experience works, just like pros, and for your selection, which is a brief introduction to your business and services. So we'll do that real quick. Let's just say something profound, say for our introduction for our business. So you got 7 options for its selection. So we're going to pick cleaners as an example. So we do move out cleaning, doing 5+ years. And this is where it's different for pros, where you have the different tier levels. So tier 1 helper is entry level, tier 2 helper is semi-skilled, tier 3 is skilled, super helper is expert level, and they're almost through their actual license. So that makes the difference. So you basically noob, semi-noob, skilled, and now an expert. So for this particular thing we're doing is expert because we have 5+ years of experience. If it was vice versa, like 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, we correspondent to the tiers. So tier 1 will be 0 to 1 to 2, tier 2 will be 2 to 3, and then for tier 3, skilled will be 3 to 4, and then super helper will be 5+ years. Just to give you a rough idea how everything works in the kingdom. That's how the tiers work. We added a service area. This is a example. Do you have a license? If we're an expert, we will say for our services, because cleaners, you don't really need a license. But for in this circumstance, we'll just say I don't have a license yet. Do you have business insurance? You need business insurance. You need individual insurance for your tools and stuff. We will not cover that because we're just the middleman. So that's why in this circumstance, we'll just say yes, but in this case, we don't have a file. But that's what will show up. But in this case, we don't have insurance. and then we'll complete that and agree for our contractor policy, which again, just like pros, read the Handy Banjo independent contractor agreement before you proceed, just to get you an idea how things work here. And then once you go through that and agree, we will complete registration. And then you will see the screen saying 8 to 12 hours to be approved. If that's part 1, it'll be part 2 in this video very shortly. Welcome to the next part, sign up as a helper. This is part 2 of sign up as a helper. So let's begin to my profile. Sign up as helper is very similar to sign up as a pro, but we're going to explicitly talk about how the helpers sign up. For this, we're going to go straight to the skills tab, which are only be 3 tabs, and you can add on to your about page, your services or your specialties, and you can add a custom quote if you want to get noticed. You can add your portfolio or your resume and your experiences, education to add more detail to who you are as a super helper or a helper. And of course, you can add more details with your profile anytime when you're going through your dashboard. The first thing I'm going to right away say is that the Helper Connect is not an option for helpers, for normal helpers, because they are still developing in skill. This is a pro thing, so it shouldn't be there right now. But let's first talk about my desk. As the next feature is that you will get the same. You can look at your schedules, your booking requests, and your availability. This is just the main hub for how things will function with your gigs and talking to clients, which will lead to send an update, which basically means that you can send an update that's delayed or any further updates with the gig work with your clients. So you can add general, material, hand-in notes, special handy, which is like end of the day with the work, delay notice, which basically says in the name, it tells the delay. You can update the title, add a message, and upload anything going on with your gig at the moment. So you can send photos and to add more detail with updates with the gig work. And the messages, you can message with your clients when you're starting a particular project, or you need to address something during the project or after the project with your clients, if you willing to do so, which is all represented with your desk. And you can also go to your schedule, add an appointment. You can go through month, week, and day to first help with organization with your particular bookings, which then will lead to booking requests, which basically means you can add an appointment if you desire, or start an appointment to help with your scheduling process, which will lead to the last option, which is availability, which you can assign people with your team, and you can talk with other super helpers. The same thing that goes with pros. You can also talk with members as well, which is pretty neat. And then it will lead to my gigs, which is the next feature as a helper, which you can look at your services. And the same thing with my desk is that you can also organize the calendar and your availability, which will lead to subcontract request, which is not showing up, but it's just like pros. But in this video for helpers, it's a little different, but not too different. Basically added on local gigs in your area to, of course, add on the workflow. And then go to my bids, which is the same thing as before with particular requests. You can just add on local gigs, and you can bid on particular projects, and you can insert in to help with the request of your gig. And then we'll roll back to my profile, and that's pretty much it. Okay, the dashboard will always be updated throughout the weeks and months, so some features will be there or just updated on. So hope this helped with your journey through our ecosystem in the kingdom. And that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe, and have a blessed day.